How are you doing? I'm Dr. Vance.
Hi.
I'll be evaluating your spine today. I'll be evaluating from about the base of your neck to about the top of your belt line. Would that be okay? And if I had to expose your spine to evaluate your spine, would that be okay? Okay, let me check the table. Okay, you can have a seat here and face the wall for me. I'm going to begin with a general scan. I'm going to expose your spine here. I'm sorry. I'm going to take the rip you some here. I'm sorry, my hands are closed. Okay. I'm going to work the inside joints. Nice and springy. Okay, nice and springy. It's a little restricted in the lumbar area, so I'm going to evaluate that further. I'm going to check the L1, L2 segment. Bisecting the iliac crest. I'm going to come across to L4. Go up down L3 to L1 spinous process. Come down to L1, L2 inner spinous process. Can you cross your arms for me? I'm going to flex her forward, check to see if the spine is separating, opening. They're not opening that well, so I would say she's a little restricted there, so she has a P. Okay, now I'm going to check for lateral bending and rotation of the L1, L2 segment. So I'm going to come lateral to the L1, L2 spinous processes. Okay. Now check for the lateral bending. Left lateral bending. Feel them opening, feel them separating from each other. That's good. And spring through here. It's good and springy. Okay, well, I'm going to check for a rotation. Left rotation. Rotation. I don't really feel that much separation. She might be a little restricted with the left rotation. Okay. Now I'm going to check the right side. I'm going to move to the other side. The L2, L1, L2 spinous processes. Lateral bending right. Lateral medial. Going to spring through here. I felt an opening, and now I'm bringing lateral medial. It's good and resilient. Now to check the right rotation, lumbar. Rotating. This side is opening. Nice and springy. Okay, the end nice and springy. Okay, so that was a good resilient joint. So with the lumbar, I found maybe a P with the flexion. She has a flexion restriction and also a left rotation restriction. Now to continue doing a general scan assets in the spine here. Okay, up with the thoracic, seem a little restricted here. Okay, so I'm going to check for the flexion on the T1, T2 segment. Okay, can you put your chin to your chest for me, flex forward? Thank you. So I'm going to locate her BP, the most prominent spinous process, and put my chiropractic index finger there. Put my index finger on the one above. Okay, and I'm going to extend and flex her. Checking to see if the one above my fifth is retracting, which it is, meaning my BP is C7. Okay. Now all I have to do is go down one spinous process to T1. Okay. Let me go to the interspinous space below T1. Now to check for flexion. I don't feel them opening that much, so she might have a restriction there. Now to check for and then I open them. Now to check for the lateral bending and rotation of the segments. Okay, coming to the lateral aspect of the T1, T2 spinous processes. Okay, lateral bending. I don't really feel them separating that much. Check for springiness. Springy L to M. It's a little hard because she might also be restricted here in the left lateral bending. Okay, and check for rotation. Rotation, I do feel them separating. It's good. Okay, bring it to pre-tension here. Let's bring the lateral medial. It's good. It's good. Okay. Let me check the other side, the right side. Let me come across here. Okay, on the right side of the T1, T2 spinous processes, I'm going to do lateral bending. I do feel them separating. It's good, it's good. Check for pre-tension. Good and springy, that's good. Good resilient joint. Now let me check for rotation, right rotation. I do feel them separating. It's good. Check for pre-tension. In play is good. Spring lateral medial. It's good. Alright, so that's good. So the only thing I had felt here was possibly a flexion restriction and the left lateral bending restriction. Now to check the depression and elevation of the first rib. So I'm going to come down the nape of her neck here, anterior to the trapezius, wrapping the trap, springing lateral, slightly lateral medial and superior inferior. Okay. Now to check for depression of the right rib. I'm going to depress the right rib, and I feel the left rib elevating. So that's good, and it's resilient. Now to check for depression of the left rib, I'm going to depress the left rib, and I feel the right rib elevating. That's good, and it's also springy. That's a good resilient joint. Now, to continue upper cervicals, I'm going to assess that. Okay. Okay, she's a little restricted in the upper cervicals, so I'm going to further evaluate that. I'm going to evaluate her atlas. Okay, let me get you to stand up for me, please. Okay, I want you to face me, and I want you to march like this, going back and forth with your head, with your eyes closed, about 3 times. Okay, begin. All right. This is checking for the flexion and extension of the atlas. And as I'm looking here, I see an A because it's neutral here, it's normal. It's not an AS because she's not pointing up, and it's not an AI because her nose is not pointing down. So she's an A, so that's normal. Okay, let me get you to sit right here, facing this wall here. Okay, now I'm going to check for laterality and rotation of the atlas. First for the laterality, I'm going to come inferior to the mastoid, anterior to the TVP of the atlas here. Okay, and I'm going to laterally bend her right. Left. Okay. And then get your pre-tension to the right. not that springy. Check the left. It's more springy than the right. So I'm going to say that she has a restriction on the right side. So she's a right laterality because it's not as springy as the left, and I didn't really feel it closing down as much as I did on the left. So right now she's the AR. Now to check for the rotation, I'm going to bring my fingers posterior behind the mastoid to the posterior aspect of the TVP of the atlas in that groove there. Okay, then I'm going to rotate her right. Okay, rotate her right. Okay, and the pre-tension spring through. Again, the right side is not as springy as the left, and I felt the TVP coming to my finger more on the left. So I'm going to say she has a right rotation problem also. So since she has a right rotation problem,